Hello, we're going to start the second video for In the Spotlights. This is the second one in chapter 2. And I bring this over here. So this is called Calculating an Average. Determining the average of a group of values is a simple calculation. Add all of the values, then divide the sum by the number of values. Although this is a straightforward calculation, it is easy to make a mistake when writing a program that calculates an average. For example, let's assume that the variables a, b, and c each hold a value, and we want to calculate the average of those values. If we are careless, we might write a statement such as the following to perform the calculation. Average equals a plus b plus c divided by 3.0. Can you see the error in the statement? When it executes, the division will take place first. The value in c will be divided by 3, then the result will be added to a plus b. That is not the correct way to calculate an average. To correct this error, we need to put parentheses around a plus b plus c as shown here. So we have average equals, then parentheses a plus b plus c, and parentheses divided by 3.0. Let's step through the process of writing a program that calculates an average. Suppose you have taken 3 tests in your computer science class and you want to write a program that will display the average of the test scores. Here's the algorithm. Get the first test score, get the second test score, get the third test score, calculate the average by adding the 3 test scores and dividing the sum by 3. Display the average. In steps 1, 2, and 3, we will prompt the user to enter the 3 test scores. We will store those test scores in the variables test 1, test 2, and test 3. In step 4, we will calculate the average of the 3 test scores. We will use the following statements to perform the calculation and store the result in the average variable. Average equals the quantity test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3 divided by 3.0. And we use 3.0 instead of 3 because if we enter the test scores as integers and add them together, and if we divide them by 3, we will get an integer result. Okay. So we could, if it was supposed to come out to be 84.3, we would just get 84. So we're going to divide it by 3.0, which would then give us the floating point value of that. So let me get this over here on my other monitor. And I'm going to go ahead and start up Python. So I've already showed you in the other first video. And then I need to open up a file. And I always move this down because it takes up more room down at the bottom of the screen. And so eventually I would have to move it anyway, so I'll just do it now. Okay, so like I said, this time, from now on, I'm not going to do comments in here. I'm just going to go ahead and put the code in. So test 1 is going to be equal to, and now the book is using the float for this. I'm going to show you with using integers instead. Int, and then oh, sorry, didn't do the input on here. Int input, enter that. Now I'm going to show you something else that you can do, and you have to be really careful when you do this and make sure you change everything like you need to. I'm going to do a copy on that and then paste it in here twice because we got 2 of these. Okay, that one, let's go back over here. There we go. So I'm going to change this to 2, and then in my comment or my prompt over here, I'm going to change this to second. And then I'm going to change this one to 3, and then I'm going to change the first on here to third. So it makes it a little bit faster to some point, but okay, it doesn't. You have to be careful when you do that to make sure you get things changed correctly. And I left the 3 off of here, so I'll put that on here. There we go. Okay, so what we want to do is calculate out the average. So average is going to be equal to our quantity of test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3. We're going to divide that by 3.0. Okay, so that would give us the floating point number that we need. And for some reason, it keeps doing this, and it shouldn't be doing that. Because I got 2 parentheses here, and I should only have 1 on those. One of the nice things about Python is that sometimes it gives you the errors before you get them. So now when I come back over here and press enter, now it's in the right place. Okay. So now what we want to do is display this. So I'm going to do a print. And we're going to print the average score is. I use double quotes because that's just the way I do it. You can use single quotes on that. And then average. Go ahead and get this saved. And go to my location here. And I'm going to call this, I give these, I didn't on those there. No, we're fine. I'm going to call this average score. .py. Save it. And then I'll run this. So I'm going to do one so I can just check to make sure it's correct. I'm going to do 80, 90, and 100. And the average comes out to be 90, which is the middle one of those 3 scores. I'm going to run it again. And I'm going to do 81, 79, and 64. And then this one comes out as 74 points, and then 6666667. Okay, so it does do the decimal on there for us, but one of the things that we would want to do later on when we get to that point is fix it so it doesn't have this continuous decimal on there like that. So other than that, everything else looks good on there. Notice that it did come out with a decimal because I put the 3.0 in here. I could have also made these floats and it would have done the same thing. But doing it as floats takes up more memory, which doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but just, if you're doing a huge program, it might. So I did it as integers because integers don't take up as much room in memory to save those out there, or store those in there. So if you have any questions, let me know, and then we'll go with the next video for the next in the spotlight. Bye.